Hi everyone, MC Armadyl here, and welcome to my guide on how to do solo Armadyl. This guide will purely feature how to do solo Armadyl with a crossbow and will not feature chins. At the start of the guide, I'll show you guys how to get ecumenical keys. After that, I'll go into the gear and inventory setup. After this, I'll tell you the method how I do Armadyl and all the tips and tricks. And finally, I'll finish off the guide with a full Armadyl kill so you guys can see this in action. Let's get started. So to get these ecumenical keys, you've got to go to the God Wars dungeon, but in the wilderness. I usually do this by going to Gorok and then using the obelisk as I have the wilderness heart diaries done. However, there's many different ways to get here, like a burning amulet. You can teleport to the lava maze, run down, or you can teleport to the bandit camp, which can be found here, and then run up. There's the cemetery teleport. You can go with the canoe. You can keep taking the obelisk until you get here. There's many different ways to get here. Then you go inside. As in all God Wars places, you need the protection. I bring these items just because I have these as duplicates and I'm willing to lose them because this is in the wilderness. It's level 25, so if you 27. So if you have a royal seatbelt, definitely take it. It's an easy way to escape. I also bring some prayer pots, restores, and some brews. This is not to do with the monsters here, but this has to do with possible PKs, and if I get PK'd for my keys, I basically start over again. So any of these monsters here can give a ecumenical key in a 1 out of 60 drop rate. What I basically do is I attack all the low level ones like goblins, ice fiends, implings, but I also try and just tag like spiritual mages, fire fiends, just basically tag anything that's in combat. Over time, especially if you use a blowpipe like I am, they will die, especially with the venom of the blowpipe, and then they will just drop an ecumenical key, and yeah, just keep doing this until you have enough keys. The amount of keys you can get is dependent on the diary you have completed. Without any diary completed, you can have 3 ecumenical keys. With the medium ones, you can have 4, and with the hard ones, you can have 5 ecumenical keys. Okay, so now on the actual gear setup for Armadyl. I myself only do Armadyl on Slayer task as I find it not worth doing it off task. This immediately means that of course I'll be wearing the Slayer helm. Then for necklace you should be wearing Anguish. Fury also work, but I would highly recommend an Anguish. Any Ava's device, the best one you've got. Diamond bolts, E. If you have Dragon Diamond bolts, definitely use them. They do increase the damage you do. Then an Armadyl crossbow. If you don't have this, take the Dragon crossbow or a Rune crossbow. Preferably, you would want to have a Saradomin and a Zamorakian item as well. Zamorak is needed because there are Zamorak minions in the room of Armadyl. The Saradomin body is just so you don't take any unnecessary damage when going to the Armadyl area. A high recommendation is that you wear the Twisted Buckler. This will really significantly increase the time it takes to get a kill. If you take a Crystal Shield instead, you will really feel the difference and you will get much less kills a trip. I myself prefer to take the Suffering. Then Pegasian Boots, if you don't have these, just take any Blessed Dragonhide boots, and Barrow's Gloves of course. Then into the inventory itself. I recommend you all take Blood Barrage with you if you can use this. If you can't, take Blood Burst. For the weapon you want to use to barrage or burst, I recommend a Kodai one as the increased accuracy will really help killing the minions. This is also why I take Ancestral Robe Bottom, Switch, and an Occult Necklace. This really helps with killing the minions quickly so you don't take any unnecessary damage there. Then you also want to take Bones to Peaches, as this will really increase the amount of kills you can get in a trip as it heals a lot over time. So after every kill you want to use Bones to Peaches to make some peaches and heal up. I take the blowpipe as well. You will use this blowpipe to spec the mage minion to heal up a bit. This is a really handy way of getting some consistent healing after every kill. This really reduces the amount of brews you need. Then you will also want a ecumenical key, especially if you're on an Eviancy task, because otherwise you will lose over half the kills you can do just getting the kill count. You also need a Mithril Grapple to go inside. Then the ratio for potions, what I found out for me that is the best is 3 Bastion potions. If you don't have these, take Raging potions. 9 restores and 7 brews. However, when you're learning, you might switch out the brews and the restores. So instead, take 9 brews and 7 restores, as you will take some unnecessary damage while learning. Then finally, the last item you want to take is a one-click teleport. I myself take my quest point cape because I have the Troll Stronghold portal in my POH, and this is a really easy way to get to God Wars dungeon, and it's an unlimited teleport. I know I just said one-click teleport. Quest point cape can become a one-click teleport through a runelight function, which is shift click. So for me, if I hold shift down, you can teleport using the quest point cape. If you don't have a quest point cape, other good alternatives are the Trollheim teleports. Just take a few extra, and when you are done with the trip, you can either remove the scroll of right direction and just teleport to POH itself. And if you really need to quickly teleport out, you just click it and you're out. Let's move on to the actual killing of Armadyl itself. Armadyl is a boss that has quite high stat and gear requirements to start killing solo. I would highly recommend having 90 plus range and 85 defense before you start, and being able to copy my setup as close as possible. If you want to skimp on any items, skimp on these magic items. Instead of a Kodai, take a Master One or an Ancient Staff. Instead of the Ancestral Robe bottoms, Arms also works. As a low level Ironman, I would highly recommend not doing Armadyl. This will use way too many supplies and you will get very little kills out of it. You're better off waiting till a bit later in the game so that you can kill it consistently without using all your supplies in a single trip. Now, how do we actually oil Armadyl and how does it work? Armadyl uses range attacks the entire time but can also melee you. Armadyl will only use range attack when you are aggroed onto him. But however, every time you are not aggro onto him, he will also start doing melee attacks. This means you have to be aggroed onto Armadyl the entire time, otherwise you will get meleeed. You also want to try and run under Armadyl every single attack you do. This makes it so you run a 1-1 attack cycle with Armadyl, and this will prevent you from taking a lot more damage. Also, this will cause the melee minion to be kind of freaked out and attack you way less frequent, which also reduces the amount of damage you take. As said before, Armadyl tries to melee you whenever you're not aggroed onto him, so I would highly recommend running under Armadyl every time you need to heal. This will prevent you taking any unnecessary damage from Armadyl itself, and also prevent you from getting meleeed. Armadyl has an annoying attack of knocking you back. This is not that big of a deal if you're trying to run under it, it just makes it a little bit more tedious. Besides that, you don't really have to look into it, just run under Armadyl after every single attack. Now for some tips and tricks on how to make consistent trips. After you kill Armadyl, as soon as he goes down, you want to go onto the mage minion. This is Wingman Kree. You want to equip your blowpipe and dump your blowpipe specs to heal up. If you are full HP, save them for next kill. After the mage minion is down, you want to drag over the melee minion to the range minion. Then you switch to your mage gear and start blood barraging, or bloodburst if you don't have this. To really prolong your trips, you have to try and use the altar as much as possible. By using this, you will save a few super restore potions, and this will really help extend your trips. I would also recommend range potting up every single kill. This will really speed up the kills you do. Don't worry about using your ranging pots. Kree'arra really drops a lot of ranging pots during your trips, so you don't have to worry about these as you will very likely get a drop while you're in the trip. And then lastly is very highly recommended to turn on your prayer 1 or 2 seconds before Armadyl spawns. This will prevent you from taking a 70 straight when Armadyl spawns. I myself have this tile marked, this is the tile Armadyl spawns under. In case there's any server lag, as I will spawn directly under Armadyl, meaning he can't immediately attack me. However, I would still recommend to turn on your range prayer as soon as he's about to spawn. When you start out learning Armadyl first, don't get discouraged when you only get 1 or 2 kill trips. This is very normal at the start. This is a boss that will suddenly get a lot easier to do, you will get a lot more confident with doing it, and before you know it you'll be having 12 to 14 kill trips with the setup I currently show you. This is the average amount of kills I get myself. Just keep on going and you'll get there. Guess the only thing that's left is show you guys how I get a kill. I'll be doing 2 kills so you guys can see what I do in between kills and how I set up the next kill. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's do this. And now let's move on to the match menu. I thought he was gonna die there. Oh, guess I'm just fucking up because I'm in a video. So as said, I still need to heal, so I use the bones to peaches. I misclicked my brew there.
Jack it up.
And that's it, that's the second kill, so back to the mage minion, just attack it. I do always pray rigger on the mage minion, this really helps with the amount of damage you take during this part. I didn't pray at the altar after last skill as I was still quite high prayer point, but as you can see now I'm at 11, this means I will be praying at the altar after I kill these two. And that's about it, that should be everything you guys need to know to start soloing Armadyl. I hope you guys enjoyed the guide and this will help you out getting some future Armadyl kills yourself. And see you guys in the next guide.